Australia is a land of environmental extremes: floods, cyclones, droughts, bushfire. On the 12th of January 2014, Perth was enduring heatwave temperatures above 40 degrees. A fire started in the semi-rural suburb of Parkerville. It spread out of control, destroying more than 50 homes. Bushfires often start due to lightning strikes, sometimes due to arson. This one started when a private power pole on Mrs. Campbell's property fell due to termite damage, bringing down the lines and igniting vegetation. Western Power, a statutory corporation created under the Electricity Corporations Act 2005, had a number of functions, including to manage, plan, develop, expand, enhance, improve and reinforce electricity transmission and distribution systems, and provide and improve electricity transmission and distribution services. For a larger property like Mrs. Campbell's, Western Power owned the transmission lines connected to a junction box on her private power pole. They had engaged a contractor to inspect the private power poles, but the contractor had not done so properly. A number of people who lost houses or property sued Western Power, arguing that it had failed in a duty of care to them. The question before the court was whether a statutory authority like Western Power could be said to have such a duty. The court found that a statutory authority usually can't be commanded to step in and do things, but once it does so, once it enters upon the field, then it can be subject to the same sort of duty of care as anyone else. Their Honours said Western Power had a duty to take reasonable care in the exercise of its powers, and the content of that duty relevantly required it to avoid or minimise the risk of injury to those persons and loss or damage to their property from the ignition and spread of fire in connection with the delivery of electricity through its electricity distribution system. An electricity distribution system which it undertook, operated, managed and maintained in the discharge of its functions and powers by placing its apparatus on Mrs. Campbell's land. The common law imposed that duty in tort on Western Power, which operated alongside the rights, duties and liabilities created by statute. From this case we learn that a statutory authority, even exercising a discretionary power, can be subject to a common law duty of care once it enters upon the field and begins to exercise that power.